So here is the triage test taking system. Um, I want to give you a 2-minute pitch. Everything that I talk about is detailed in the full written document that you've got access to. So the quick version only for the video. The first thing that students don't realize is that they're usually not reading the items correctly. The first thing you have to do is just observe the words in the item. It's almost like reading it where you kind of go blah, blah, blah over some of the nouns. You just need to hear the rhythm. What that's supposed to do is the rhythm will help you resonate with the rhythm of other problems that you have solved practicing for this test. Now, you don't go blah, blah, blah all the time. You actually do read the words, but if it's an age problem about Sally and Sue, you don't worry about that. You just realize, oh, the first sentence says something about Sally and Sue. The second sentence says something about Sally and Sue. And the final question is, what's Sue's age? Right? You just hear those words, Sally and Sue, age, 10 more, blah, 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 right? So your brain is going, now take a pause. Let your brain process those words. Let your brain process the sounds, the rhythm of the problem. And what that does is it gives your unconscious, your subconscious mind time to bring up relevant kinds of problems with those rhythms, relevant problem-solving procedures. That's when you start your second reading. And this is where you actually think more specifically. But here's the thing. You are going to read the whole prompt again, but you're not going to read it all at once. Now what you do is you analyze it little phrase by little phrase. The idea is that you brainstorm on each of those little phrases, right? So the first sentence might have been, Sally and Sue are sisters. Well, that's just a little bit of context. That's kind of nothing. Sally is 10 years older than twice Sue's age. Oh, wait a second. Sally and Sue, you've already read, so you do remember that Sue's age is the connection, is the question. So look down, confirm that, go, why don't I write stuff down now? Why don't I let X be Sue's age? And since you know that Sally is there, let Y be Sally's age. And then you keep analyzing, wait, I read that sentence all at once. It said Sally is 10 more than Sue, twice Sue's age. Oh, there's a 10 more then. Let me write down plus 10. And then think about there's Sally and there's twice Sue and who gets the plus 10, right? That is the brainstorming, the actual, you might even be solving the problem now during the second reading. You might be able to set that equation up, right? Sally is brainstorm, right? 10 years older than, 10 more than, oh, there's a plus 10 on somebody. Twice Sue's age, well, Sue is X, Sally is Y, so there's a 2X there. How do you put together the Y, the 2X, the 10, and the equal sign? See how you break it down into little pieces? You do the same thing with the second sentence, right? You're writing down things. You're not trying to keep it in your head. You're not trying to read the question quickly so that you can remember everything and do it all at once. That's not how mathematics works. Little phrase at a time. And then you stop when you've analyzed all the phrases and you go, is this something I can solve? Hopefully it usually is, right? If you've brainstormed and taken all the little bites, it's not such a big deal. Oh, look at that. I have two equations and my two variables are X and Y, and I'm supposed to solve for X. Now you just kick in your technical computational skills, the regular math skills, right? The test taking skills, item reading skills are over now. You get it done. That's an example of a do now item. Those are the green ones. What you want to do is find all those green ones because, right, the test writer didn't write the test for your convenience. They didn't give you all the items that are easiest for you first, and then the medium hard ones in the middle and the really hard ones at the end. I mean, that is the perfect way to take an exam, but that's not how it's organized for you. So your goal is not to do the maximum number of items per minute. It's to earn the maximum number of points per minute this first time you go through the exam. So what'll happen is in that brainstorming phase, that second reading, right? You'll get a feeling, right? You'll already be muttering and scribbling and you know you're going to be able to solve it. Do it. That's going to be a quick problem. Slow down a little bit so you're accurate. Maybe use your calculator. Make sure you're not losing points due to speeding, right? Be efficient. So now you've saved times for the harder problems. Maybe the second reading, you don't quite get it. Give it a third reading, right? Give it a third reading, and maybe during the third reading, you say, yeah, I can do it now. Of course, there's the other thing. Sometimes you see a certain kind of problem. It reminds you of a kind of problem or a situation or just something negative. You get angry that it's there. Nobody taught me how to do this, or I'm dumb because I don't know how to. If you have any kind of negative thoughts on an item, that's when you classify it as do never, right? You still always guess, unless it's an exam where guessing has a penalty. I don't think WGU does that on any exam, right? So you guess and you move on. If it's do never, you mark in the corner, what number it is. Bookmark it after you guess and move on. That's if you start freaking out during the second reading. If not, you go for the third reading, and it's either, yeah, I got this, I can solve it, or you kind of hit a wall. You can't brainstorm through everything, or you recognize that you can do it, but it's one of those really long procedures. Long division from school mathematics. So you make it later. Fine. Guess and bookmark it and move on to the next item. Remember, your job is not items per minute, it's points per minute. So don't do a slow one and don't push on a mysterious one. Just move on and find an easy one. In my experience, if you are skipping about a third of the items and doing the easy 2/3, if 2/3 of the exam is easy for you, you're probably going to pass if you use this method of getting those solid points first. If it's half and half, you still got a shot. So you might be skipping every other item. It's okay. Find the do now items. Find those green items. Do them now. That's the first time through the exam. It's only the easy ones, right? All you did is basically skim through the items that weren't easy for you and did all the easy ones. It's almost like, right, by your action, you've changed the exam. So the hard and medium ones, you're only reading for a few minutes at the beginning, and then you're doing all the easy ones for tons of points. And then you go through a second time, right, looking at those hard and medium items. Again, it's the second time you've seen them. So now you've got a chance to do it because you've warmed up with all the good stuff. And you're a little tired, but you're fired up. You've seen all the mathematics, all 50, 30, 100 items, whatever they are. You've seen all the math, or all the science, or all the English, or all the whatever, and it's brought up more and more memories of everything you studied. So you're on fire. Your brain is active. And then you go through the second time on the do laters, right? The weird mysteries. I didn't quite know how to do it. You'll be amazed. Sometimes you'll look at an item that you tagged as do later because you were puzzled by it, and you'll be like, why didn't I know the answer? Don't worry about it. That's the method to this system. It helps you remember how to do problems that you really do know how to do, but you didn't know the first time. So second time around, oh, go ahead and do it. Don't worry about it. Some of the mysteries will still be mysteries, so you kind of demote them to, all right, do never or do later. The slow problems, there are a few like the long division. You've saved a couple of slow problems. Those are really nice because you're going to get those points. And remember, if you go slowly, and remember, you did at least half the exam quickly, the easy part first. So now for the other half or less of the exam, you've got more than half the time, which means you can slow down. You literally should go from that energetic state I had before to a slow, deliberate, okay, this is one that I'm supposed to do slow. Let me go ahead and do the whatever, the long division, the chemistry, equation balancing, the physics motion problem, it might even be, you know, short response versus multiple choice on a social science or liberal arts exam. Whatever it is, now you've got your time. So use it. Use it calmly. Now remember, you have bookmarked your do nevers and your do laters. So if you remember, I said write down the do nevers in the corner, right? Write down their numbers. You can glance through that. So when you're going through your bookmarks, you can consciously skip your do nevers. Remember, they got your emotions out of order, whether it was anger, fear, um, general anxiousness, whatever it was that triggered. Stay away from it. There's no need to engage with that. Your job is to find the reasonable items in this second time through. So take a shot at all those reasonable items. Take a shot at them slowly and deliberately because you have that time, because you save that time by doing the easy, quick ones first. And when you're completely done with that, and in my experience with practice, even my students who were like not even about 3/4 of the way through the exams, they were missing a whole quarter and they had to scramble and guess in the last 10 minutes. Even students like that, when they practice this system, they would always figure out how to have enough time to go through the first time. And most of them learned how to have enough time to go through the second time, right? They were good at finding the easy ones, and then the do laters they had time for, and that's enough. Sometimes they, were like one item short on the second time through. Sometimes they had 10 extra minutes, a little bit of time. And I said, you know what? If you have a little bit of time, you can be done. It's okay. You did your reasonable best on all the reasonable items, right? You guessed, and then you only changed your guess if you remembered a method second time through. You kept your first guess, and every item had your first real attempt. Everything else got demoted to the do never or the mysteries, right? You don't have any time left? Wonderful. Walk away. If you have a little bit of time left, then I encourage you to be sassy, right? All those anxiety causing problems, all those double mystery problems, the do laters that got demoted to do never, you got 10 minutes or 30 or 2. You've done your best on all the reasonable items, the items that are reasonable to you. So now there's no need for the anger, the fear, the anxiety, the negative self-talk, the whatever to rise up and conquer you, right? Now it's okay to get freaked out because you don't have a long exam where getting freaked out early hurts you for the rest of the exam. You're done all the good items. So go after these lousy ones if you have any time left. I always like to make a joke, right? If I was taking the exam, you know, I'm not going to leave until I fall unconscious from the effort of grappling with these horrifying do never problems, or they grab me up out of my seat, right? Be sassy, be stubborn at the end, not the beginning. The beginning is, be looking for the easy route. That's the first time through. Easy and quick. Oh, okay. New mode. Second time through. Slow, deliberate. The mysteries get solved because you've thought of a lot of math on your way, a lot of the material on the way through the exam, and now it's less mysterious. The slow ones, you just, okay, I have the time to do the slow ones. And then if you're done, you're done. And if you're feeling sassy and there's a little time left, go look at those ones that are still bookmarked. Look at those ones that you've stuck in the corner and see if any of them will talk to you. And if they don't, no big deal. You pass and fail on the reasonable items. And if you still fail, then it's just a matter of getting better at reasonable items. Find the items that are moderate and easy to you back in the book and practice that kind until you recognize the patterns more swiftly, or you've got more of the knowledge memorized that you need, or you know the structure of a mini essay better. Just practice on the reasonable stuff. You don't need the do never stuff to pass the exam. So there it is. I'm a math guy. I use it mostly in math. You heard me slip in a couple of times. I always said math problems, but this is truly applicable to any kind of content where you've got to go through some kind of problem solving. If it's just memorization, might even work that way too, because some things you got memorized immediately, and second time through, your brain has been boiling and roiling and brought up new words. So even in completely non-problem solving, memorization oriented tests, it works. And in the hardcore solving a problem every time that mathematics usually is, it works really well there also. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you benefit from it. And I hope now you'll be willing to go through the long text version that goes with this flowchart. Thanks for your time, and best wishes on your next exam.